Yeah, I'll start with Kaiser. Brock Osweiler went out there. He didn't lose the job, but he didn't play unbelievable. He had that tip ball, and it was intercepted, and Kaiser comes in, and he made some plays. He looked good, escaped from the pocket, and there still is that excitement. So when it comes to the preseason hype with these young quarterbacks, Shaun Kaiser's right there still in the mix of it. And he has to be up there in the rankings because the conversation of Kaiser possibly being a starter is still on the tip of our tongues. And that right there is the ultimate hype for a rookie QB. And with a few weeks left, 2 preseason games, he could snatch this position if Brock Osweiler doesn't fulfill expectations.
He had 3 of the 4 Browns touchdown drives were all Mr. Kaiser. So that's what he's doing, looking very impressive. Doesn't have the experience of
Notre Dame photo.
Oh, he's 21. We'll see what he can do. All right, so that's the latest with him. First preseason game, we all know what Mitchell Trubisky did. Like, he was trending when we came to work that next day. It was sort of crazy. Second preseason game, I thought maybe he'll get to work with the ones, against the ones. Not the case. Mark Sanchez still went in there as the backup to Glennon. But Glennon has 2 interceptions against the ones. Trubisky, he looked good again. I don't know that I think that he'll be out there starting, but then guys I love, like you guys, say maybe he will be the guy. Charles Davis told the Rich Eisen show that he thinks that by week 1, it could be Mitchell Trubisky. John Fox, not saying that he will practice with the ones and against the ones, but he's not closing the door on that opportunity either. So he's not. It's a competition.
Look, they've already gotten over any controversy would have been if they, why'd you sign Glennon? They're already over that conversation. Now it's an open competition, and these guys are just in the same spot because they're both new to the team. So now go earn the job, and Trubisky right now is outplaying Glennon in these preseason games.
We need to see him like we saw Kaiser. Like, it was awesome to see Kaiser out there against Snacks and JPP. Like, that's the real NFL. This is not a warm-up. So I want to see Trubisky against the big guys.
Those reps.
Yeah, he does. I'm going to talk about Shaun Watson because he's had some week. A week ago, it felt like, look out. Like, maybe he unseats Savage. He looked so good in that preseason game. And he looked fine in the second game. What's happened with him, though, is he didn't get the job. I mean, O'Brien has circled the wagons around Tom Savage. That's been his week. I think Watson said afterwards against New England, he said, I was decent. I got to learn some things. I got to do some things. He is going to be the backup, and that is how it's just going to go. That is how his week went. But, guys, the biggest development by far with Deshaun Watson was the Millie Rock dance. Okay, this was big. He scores, and he got a little something. I mean, he scores.
What did he do? Why don't you do it?
Well, we'll get to that, okay? First of all, if you don't know what the Millie Rock dance is, I've become sort of an expert on it. This is the rapper 2 Millie, or Millie Mill, as they call him, and he goes on Facebook a couple of years ago, and he was doing a dance to his brother's song that went viral in 2015. It says first arms up, then left and right, then MJ, get out of your sight. I don't know if that's a Jordan reference. I don't know if that's MJ. I don't know. But that's how you do it. And we talked in the production meeting that Schrager is going to do the dance. No. So, Peter, are you ready to do the Millie Rock?
No.
No?
No, I'm not. No.
Neither am I, my friend.
No, Nate, you seem to know it.
Yeah, go ahead, Nate.
It's just a little something. You could do it, Shrey.
No, I don't know it.
The problem with the little something, Nate, is that it's a lot of something when you start to do it. I'd rather do the worm on the floor than do just the simple, intricate little dances.
Do the chicken dance or the hora. I'm not doing.
Yeah. Do we have a limbo stick out here?
Yeah,
I can do that.
The cha-cha-cha slide.
But the Millie Rock was a thing, and I learned about it, and Deshaun Watson did it on his first touchdown in the preseason.
He brought it back.
He's the backup.
Has it been
Millie
away?
Rock, Millie Rock was way over.
It was a couple years ago. You're right.
I don't know why he brought it back.
Really?
I'm happy.
The Millie Rock.
I'm
I didn't know
happy.
about it. I know Fraggle Rock.
You've seen a Millie Rock.
I have.
You saw Millie Rock one day at the Soho House with me a long time ago.
I did? Were you doing it?
No, I was not.
Oh, that's too bad.
All right, who's left?
Oh, with our guy, yeah.
Oh.
Shout out to Dylan.
We had some night, right?
Someday.
Who's left?
Someday.
I know Tom Rock. He writes about the Giants for Newsday. All right, I'm going to go with Patrick Mahomes, who I think might have had the best preseason out of all these guys, but he's an entrenched number 2 or 3, so we can't put him on the power rankings list too high. But again, Mahomes, fantastic. He did what he does. He looked really good against another tough defense here against the Niners. Came in, he had one of these plays where he stiff arms a player, in the week 2. It was unbelievable. So
Favre, man.
Mahomes looks good. He's been throwing all over the place. They played the Bengals this week in week 2, and 93, Will Clark comes crashing in on him. It's a defensive end. This isn't a safety, and he literally just takes his fist and puts it in his hand, throws a pass across his body, and slides across the ground. Mahomes is fun to watch. He's had really good numbers.
Yeah.
He's not taking Alex Smith's job anytime soon, but he is a very, very bright spot in this Kansas City locker room.
Alex Smith looks great.
He does.
And so when we're doing these power rankings, are we doing it just based on what the rookies look like, or are we comparing it to, like Trubisky's sort of tied to what Glennon's not doing?
Yeah, I think it's almost like who's going to do the most this year.
Okay.
Who's on pace to do it. So if we did a power rankings, it would be that. And there's two other guys we have to mention. Nathan Peterman was a guy that we talked about last week who came in and lit it up in a Thursday night game.
He has more attempts than any of them.
He's been throwing the ball far, and Tyrod Taylor's not had a good preseason. I mean, he's been bad this preseason. So you've got this guy who's now the number 2, it looks like, over T.J. Yates in Buffalo. And I want to introduce you to another name.
There's
here.
Another one now?
There's another one.
Peterman crushed it.
Your names always hit.
It's
They do
crazy.
usually hit.
So if you're at home, pay attention when Peter Schrager drops a random name, because it's not so random.
Who is it?
This is your penny stock for this week, okay? I'm going with San Francisco 49ers third quarterback, C.J. Beathard. They took him in the 3rd round out of Iowa. He's already challenging Matt Barkley for that number 2 job, and Brian Hoyer isn't Joe Montana, so who knows how this goes. This is him throwing to his college teammate George Kittle for a touchdown, who did the Steve Austin dance where he...
2 beers.
2 beers, but Beathard's been incredible. He's been 14 of 23 for 211 yards and 3 touchdowns. Last week, another 2.
3 TDs.
3 TDs. He looks good, doesn't throw interceptions. And look, Matt Barkley is great in the room with Brian Hoyer. They were in Chicago last year. That's a really good thing. But Kyle Shanahan, when he drafted C.J. Beathard in the 3rd round, it was seen as a huge reach, all this stuff. And his comment afterwards was, talked to Peter King, and he said, he was the only quarterback that I wanted in this draft. So when a coach says that,
yikes,
you seem to know that, hey, this might be a track here, and he's been great. The fans, there's already a little fan club going on in San Francisco. They want to see C.J. Beathard starting already. I don't think we're there yet, but if you're looking for a penny stock, got to watch. That's on a Sunday night game on NBC. Everyone's watching in the country.
You're on a heater here.
Second half.
Great.
Hey, I like a little heater. C.J. Beathard.
Let's check out the rookie quarterback rankings after preseason week 2. These are the new ones that we came up with. You've got Kaiser on top. There you go, Nate. Good for you.
That's what I'm talking
the truck slips down just a little bit. We got to see him with those reps, the ones. Shaun Watson, then Mahomes, and then Peterman. Which fan base do you think is the most excited about their
Chicago.
situation?
Well, maybe Cleveland.
Twitter was nuts with Cleveland Browns.
I think the Chiefs have to be the most excited because you have Alex Smith turning it up, crushing it, and then you see your future and what that could be as well.
I do want to make a point about Alex Smith.
Mahomes, you're seeing stuff out of Alex Smith that you don't usually see. It's almost like he's like turning it, lighting a fire.
He's been through this before with Kaepernick. They had Kaepernick, and everyone loved Kaepernick. The fans loved Kaepernick in the preseason.
Different skill set, right?
And Alex Smith had been there, and it's happened before. So he could be very easily threatened by this. But from everyone I talked to in Kansas City, Alex Smith's been incredible. Alex Smith is telling Mahomes, like, here's how we do it. I'm going to teach you. I'm going to mentor you. The ultimate professional.
That's great.
And guess what? The presence of Mahomes has elevated Alex's game.
36 yards downfield to Travis Kelce. I don't think that's what I was going to see. And I think that Alex Smith knows he's the guy and he's a good option. And I think he's, 2 p.m. Keep your 2 p.m. I've got 8:30 p.m.
I can see that.
6 times
I like
this year. That's what Alex Smith is saying.
If there's a